Welcome to the Configuration Editor instruction video. In this video, we will demonstrate how to configure CC4M starting from one of the predefined configurations shipped with CC4M, or with a new configuration starting from scratch. Next, we will show how to include checks by referencing other configuration files. To access the Configuration Editor, open CC4M and go to the Configurations tab. You can start from one of the predefined configurations or create a new configuration from scratch. Let's start with selecting the predefined layout configuration and opening it. In the configuration editor, the Save As button can be used to save under a different name. Now that we have created our own copy, we can start modifying the check configurations. Select a check configuration in the table on the left to show its settings in the pane on the right. Each check has a number of common settings: a short description, a checkbox to enable or disable the check, a priority, a severity level, a list of categories, a link to a guidelines document with a button to open it in your browser, a rule or guideline identifier, and optionally a number of parameters. This check has no parameters, and therefore the clone button is disabled, since there is no point in configuring this check twice. The next check in the table has 3 parameters of different types. Selecting the parameter shows its description and a control to modify the value. The Clone button can now be used to create a copy of the check configuration that can be modified independently of the original. For instance, when you want to configure the same check multiple times to check different guidelines. The Remove button can be used to remove a check configuration. Now, let's close this configuration and create a new one from scratch. Don't forget to save the changes. In CC4M, we can see that the configuration has changed from predefined to custom, and the folder where we saved our file is the Active Configurations folder. To create a configuration file from scratch, click New and choose a name for the configuration file. The new configuration file contains a list of all available checks in unconfigured and disabled state. Since it is quite a long list, it is often convenient to use the search field to filter the shown check configurations. Then, you can select a check and modify its settings. Sometimes, it can be convenient to include checks from other configuration files. For instance, when you want to include the MATLAB coder or MATLAB compiler compatibility checks in your project configuration. Configuration references can be added on the Referencing tab. The referenced file can be one of your own or one of the predefined configurations. The check configurations from a reference are indicated by a closed link icon in the Ref column, the number indicating the source file. Number 1 always refers to the file we are editing now. When we select a referenced check, its settings are shown but cannot be edited since they are defined in another file. To change or disable a referenced check configuration, you must override it. This creates a copy that is stored in the current configuration file. Overrides are indicated with a broken link icon. When the override is removed, the original check configuration from the referenced file is restored. This concludes the demo of the Configuration Editor. Thank you for watching.